Hey, what's going on, family? It's your boy Joe, and welcome again to the Mailroom. All right, so not in California anymore, back here in sunny North Carolina, but it is cold outside. And normally I try to record these outside, but today y'all are going to be getting the Mailroom Inside Edition. Um, Again, as always, I appreciate everybody for coming and joining me with this today. And what we're trying to take a look at through these last couple of Mailroom episodes is all of the things that we have learned throughout 2020 that are going to better equip us for 2021. What are the things that we're going to be putting in our tool belts and in our tool boxes to take us into the next year? And I try to get a lot of the different feedback that I received from you all, and I wanted to talk about a few things that I did get back from folks. One of the things that I got from some of the senior saints and some of the more experienced saints, I guess, was fasting and praying. Now, I have to admit, I am not an expert on fasting and praying, but I know that that is an awesome tool to have in your toolbox. I do hope to have someone next week who may be able to kind of help us to walk through that a little bit more, so we can be better equipped to use that as a tool for 2020. But the overwhelming response that I've gotten from everyone has been more so on the lines of being okay with not being okay, and actually understanding what it is to have to wait and to have anxiety and not feel like we can't express that in a positive way. One of the things that's been really pressed upon me and talked about by some of the people who have shared with me is it seems like a lot of times some of the things that we've been going through have been kind of like almost overshadowed by the overwhelming sense of just an ocean of distress that's been going on. I mean, if you think about with 2020 having just so many different deaths, and then we had COVID, and then we've had civil unrest, and then we've had even where we are right now, and it's we're still waiting for different things that have to take place in terms of our government. There's just been such an overwhelming sense of loss and pain and want that sometimes some of our individual needs and hurts and pains have been lost in that. And how do we express that in a way that doesn't just kind of seem like piling on? Because we know that we have to be able to express that in a way that it's healthy. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure that we do talk about is that a great tool that we have that we don't always use enough is the ability to be able to help others. There's a phrase that I've heard many times throughout my life, and it talks about a problem shared is a problem cut in half. And what that speaks to is that when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable and be honest about where we are, we allow others to be able to pour into us. But what we also can do is that when we're in some of these places, we can find relief and we can find a new perspective if instead of focusing on our own pain, we can actually reach out to help someone else. Helping others is actually very therapeutic. Not only is it therapeutic, but it also serves as a way of perfecting our perspective. Acts chapter 4, and it's, I believe, verses 32 to 37, talks a lot about how the early church worked together in the midst of persecution. You know, the early church was under much duress. The Roman Empire did not condone anything that was going on in terms of Christianity, and they were all living in fear of their very lives. But there were some people who were in a better position to be able to help others, and there's other people who were actually in a position to be able to provide, shelter for other people. But one of the things you found out of that whole situation is that it said that no one was without, that the entire church was able to function, and the individuals were able to flourish in this place of persecution. And what I think is sometimes lost in that is that it always kind of talks about the fact that, those who had gave. But there also had to be some of those people who actually did have a need, and they had to tell people that they were not all right. And that way, the people who were in that position to help could help them. And through their shared pain and their shared hope and their shared resources, they were able to survive and to flourish and to actually grow this great faith that we have right now. And I would encourage you all, and I'm going to encourage myself and call myself to task to make sure that I do this more and put this in my tool belt for 2021, that I need to make a more deliberate effort to make sure that I reach out to others, that I find people in their point of need when I'm feeling a certain kind of way, because I know that if I'm feeling that way, someone else is as well. And if we share in that pain together, or if we share in some of our unique circumstances together, I think that we can actually come out of this in a much better place. Again, as always, I appreciate you all kind of taking some time and hanging out with me for a few minutes. If this has blessed you, make sure you like it, share it, tag a friend, type their name in the comment box. And what's really important, especially as we bring all of this to a close, is that you share some of your feedback, share some of the things that you're going to be putting in your tool belt and taking with you into 2021, so that we can all be better equipped for a greater and a brighter tomorrow. Again, my name is Joe, and this is the Mailroom. I love you, and I will see you soon.